Hello and welcome to Boomtown Hoops Live, where we talk about the game live, not pre-recorded. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me today, we got Jesse, we got Jameson, and we're on for real now. This is a joke for literally just us three. We have been going for 10 minutes. But anyways, the Oklahoma City Thunder take out the Minnesota Timberwolves 120 to 118 in an absolute seesaw of a game. You saw Oklahoma City with a franchise record in points, only to be drowned out in the third quarter by a absolute Timberwolves storm. Super bizarre game. A day after where you saw Oklahoma City with no guards, Hamidou Diallo, kind of having to lead the way. You have a game where there's too many guards, and we have Kenny Hustle playing center. Bizarre game. But you know what? The Thunder got that win. There's a lot to enjoy here. There's a lot to it if you're... I get if you're like a tanker, you're probably upset. If you're a fan of, let's get dubs, that's all that matters. You might be a little like, we almost blew this. But you know what? At the end of the day, this was a fun win for the Thunder. And yeah, I'm excited to break it down. Jesse, your thoughts on tonight's game again?
I thought the first half was really fun, and it was nice to see SGA and Lou come back. And I thought we were really good in transition to start the game. So we got really icy in the third, which I think is a little alarming, but we did pull it together. I thought SGA looked great down the stretch. So there were some really good things and some really not so good things in this one.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird game for sure. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of real red flags here, but in general, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went to work, had an incredible fourth quarter performance, and I think that's what we should key on, should be excited about in terms of the Thunder's win here. Jameson, your first reactions to this game again?
Yeah, let me say this again. For the tank crowd, yeah, I understand it sucks if you don't lose every single game. You watch Cade Cunningham today for OSU, and you want him. You want that step back 300 team. But Minnesota losing also helps the tank. Golden State's pick, if it doesn't convey, because it's top 20 protected, we will get Minnesota's second-round pick, which they're currently one of the worst teams in the NBA, which could be, the 31st pick in the draft. Remember, we got Teo with the 34th pick in the draft, and how much do y'all love him? That Minnesota pick could be something very similar and something that we could use in trades moving up if we were moving forward. But the biggest takeaway just from the game, what I watched, I really liked the way SJ had that alpha dog mentality at the end. He was calm, cool, and collected. He didn't feel like he was too stressed to come back. He went in, made the plays, and it looked like he had no weight on his shoulders at all. It looked like he was a leader of a team, a guy that I didn't think could do that, and has stepped up huge in that role this season.
Yeah, that's absolutely ideal Shai, without a doubt. Where he's not forcing it. I know a lot of Thunder fans want to see him be more aggressive with the basketball, but he took his shots as they came. He was patient, and I think just an incredible, one of his best fourth quarter performances so far of his career in Oklahoma City. So I absolutely loved his performance, without a doubt. So let's talk a little bit about last night's game. Let's just touch on it really quick. A very scrappy 8-person team. Really weird game on that end. But who was your biggest who is your biggest star of this scrappy weird team last night? Jesse, I'll let you start.
For me, it was Hami. We kind of touched on how he was really the only ball handler we had in the Friday night game. And I'm not saying it was perfect. I know he kind of flubbed up at the end of the game. But if we're talking about that role for him, I don't really see where that comes up much when we have SGA and Dor and our full squad. But I still think it's important for him to get chances like that. So I did think he was more of a facilitator last night, which we don't normally see a whole lot. So I know we had him in a weird role, but I kind of thought he stepped up and looked pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, again, he's not a point guard. That's out of his position for sure. I got to give a big shout out to Al Horford there, 26 points. That is an audition tape for trade this man to somewhere good. He can operate, as a veteran, provide a calming presence. I got to give a shout, but here's my biggest takeaway. Darius Miller. I've never seen this man in my life almost, but he is just dripping with swagger. I know we're talking about last night's game, but he had a play today where he passes it out to Justin Jackson and holds out his hand, like flexing on the assist, running down the court after just a pass, out for three. Jackson thankfully made the three. Pretty sure that's just because of the amount of sauce Miller put on that pass. But I'm loving this guy. I have no idea where he came from. I guess Presti also just loves Kentucky guys. But he had a solid performance the other night. He got in a little bit today. But Miller, what in the world? I feel like the ends of the bench this year are way more enjoyable than they've been in the past. You don't have the guys like a Kyle Singler or a Abdul Nader where you just can't stand watching them play basketball. And for me, even down to the Darius Millers of the world, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, especially whenever we have new players. A new player is always going to be fun. And if they show an ounce of personality, the Thunder fans will flock. And that's what's going to happen with Darius Miller. The thing is, everyone loves three-point shooters, and Thunder fans clamor for three-point shooters. If you can make a three, they will love you so much. And that's what he is. That's all he is. And, that's something to think pretty highly of. Going on to Al Horford, yes, whenever you put up nights like 26 points and 7 boards and you're shooting from three the way he is, 40+%, there are going to be teams that take a look at him at the trade deadline. What we have to look at is it worth it to trade him at the trade deadline, or can we get more later in the offseason after absorbing one more year of his contract? That will be a very tough decision for Presti. And then the last thing, Hamidou Diallo with 10 assists. I know this got talked about a lot, but that is something you would never, ever think could happen from Hami. He is by far the most selfish player on this team, and I understand the game of basketball. Selfish, you sometimes have to be selfish sometimes, but sometimes you can go a little bit overboard. He gets tunnel vision a lot. He gets in Hami time and a Hami do what I want and just mid-range jumpers, and it gets a little bad. But 10 assists, you could tell there was some maturing last night. So that was definitely optimistic for Hami's growth.
Yeah, I believe in the Discord, which, by the way, join it if you haven't already. It's a great place to talk. The Boomtown Hoops Discord, you can find it all over. We got the links everywhere. In the Discord, someone brought up that Hamidou Diallo's over-under assist for that game was 4. So Diallo just cruised past that. Big performance out of Hami. Just the fact that you can even functionally use him as a point guard. Incredible stuff, for sure. Mm-hmm. Let's get back to the game at hand, tonight's ball game. So, just a weird game, absolute collapse in the third. What happened?
Just went ice cold. Nobody could make anything. The offense wasn't flowing. It was quite shocking to me, like how different it was from the first half. I thought the first half was super fun. I don't think Mike Moose missed a shot at all, so that was fun. I don't know, the vibe was just different in the second, but it was reassuring to watch SGA kind of take control at the end. So it was kind of back and forth, but I'm glad we got the win on this one.
Yeah, they just kind of came out and were like, just hang out, have a good time.
Yeah,
we're good, we're up 20. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for the Timberwolves was really just how the Timberwolves played. They came out aggressive, they were shooting the ball well, and they absolutely fed Naz Reid, who just decimated poor Kenny Hustle down low all night long, or anyone that we tried to throw at him. But I don't know, just a really inspiring second half out of the Timberwolves after a really awful first. Anthony Edwards, the rookie, had a solid game, 20 points, but at the end, we had the best player on the court. That's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He pulled through. That's what mattered. Jameson, what went wrong in that third?
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a game of runs. You'll hear this all the time. But whenever shots aren't falling, your offense is going to just go to crap. The cuts that you were going to make, the flow of the offense is going to be all gone because something doesn't feel right. Things aren't going well. And it's just a ripple down effect. That's just with basketball. And usually you want to lean on an alpha, lean on a guy to just come in and just kind of force his way into shots. And SGA wasn't doing that as much in the third. And then he did it in the fourth and saved us. So that's really what it is. And Nas Reed, doesn't get that much hype, but he was a 5-star out of high school, McDonald's All-American, and then went undrafted out of LSU. I really liked him, but he's just a pure offensive big, and he can score the ball on all levels of the court. This would be a perfect game for him to do well because he doesn't have to play big and get strong versus any of our people whenever you have Darius Baisley guarding him the whole game. So, yeah, that was kind of tough in the matchup for Nas Reed to really kind of let him spread his wings.
Yeah, definitely a guy I liked coming out of college, and very, very good performance. And the Timberwolves are probably going to have to need to start this guy in the coming years if Karl Anthony Towns decides to leave, which he probably will. Because look, no matter how you feel about tanking, how you feel about the team right now, good Lord, I would hate to be a Timberwolves fan right now. This is the worst. Giving up your number one pick, conditionally, whatever, for, giving up your conditional number one pick to the Warriors for just not a great D'Angelo Russell. Anthony Towns is just kind of out of it. This is as bad as it gets. This is basketball purgatory. And, at least with the Thunder, we're going to take L's. We're going to have bad times this season. But at the end of the day, we have a future. And that's very exciting. It was on display tonight, without a doubt. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know what else to say about this game. We kind of covered it. Great start. Kind of crappy finish, but saved by Shea. That's the story of the night, really. Coming up next, we got a doubleheader with the Los Angeles Lakers. Didn't go so well last time. What are we looking at ahead of the doubleheader with LeBron and company?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Pain.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. If our young players could just be consistent, I think I'd be happy with that. I mean, I wanted us to win the last one, as far-fetched as that is. This time I'm a little bit more level-headed. I just want the young guys to look solid. So not really looking for the win, but I think we can still get some good stuff out of it.
Yeah, let's keep it to, if we can have one of those be within 15, I'm happy. Make it a competitive game.
Yes.
That's good experience for the young guys. So
yeah. How about this, though? One thing to look forward to is with the amount of minutes Kenny Hustle's getting now, let's see Kenny Hustle guard LeBron. Let's see that. That's going to be really kind of fun to watch. And he's going to pester him. That's what Kenny Hustle does. He's going to go and crash the boards, fight over the block out. He's going to piss off LeBron hopefully a couple times. So that's something to look forward to. And how about Presti and how well he did when trimming down this roster and making the decisions? Some people were mad that we didn't get Frank Jackson. We kept Kenrich Williams, cutting TJ Leaf, everything, perfect decision-making. The only thing I could say is, would you have rather had just get rid of Trevor Ariza and had Frank Jackson? But, Roby staying on the team and Kenrich Williams staying on the team was a lot of people, including me in the articles I wrote, were just slotted out as cuts. And those two have been huge for us this year and are great young guys developed that we can sign moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, Presti he's out here playing chess. We're all playing probably less than checkers, honestly. We're just a group of people having fun on the internet. But Sam Presti, that man is a genius. You've got to give it up for this roster. They come out, fight every night, make it. There's not a single game against Oklahoma City, even the 30-point blowouts, that is not a, difficult, frustrating game. And I think that says a lot to the culture that we've built in Oklahoma City, that Presti's done, and this whole roster just oozes, hard work, hustle. I almost said hardwood like I'm a OU marketing exec from 2002, but yeah, I don't know. I'm in college basketball mode for the most part, but this is a gritty, fun team to watch, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. So
yep, go turn on the USC game. Fans, watch Evan Mobley. Could be a guy for us if we don't get Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, why are we so fully stuck on Cade Cunningham?
Because he's Oklahoma. It's because you don't have the number one player in high school, the number one projected guy who has Oklahoma roots. You know how hard it is to keep people on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Paul George, we were so lucky to even have him for a year or so after he signed his contract extension. We don't get that often. And if he has roots here, and you're not international where you have no preconceived notions of where you should be in the U.S., you've got to go after hard on those guys.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, or just people who like fishing, like Paul George.
God, that was
Oh my gosh!
I think he just had nothing else to say about us.
I don't know. He says he likes fishing. He fished.
Well, of course, I know he likes fishing, but he was just like, "What do you like about Oklahoma?" I guess they have water here, so I like the water.
He was out here fishing at the bubble. It was a good time. But anyways, all right. I think that's all we have. Before we go, Super Bowl predictions. Jesse, your thoughts. Bucks or Chiefs?
I'm a salty Packers fan, and I need the Chiefs to win.
Fair enough. Nobody likes Tom Brady. Jameson?
No.
I got Chiefs by 4 and covering.
I think look, as a logistic, smart move, you got to go with Kansas City. The offense is too good. But also can't count out Tom Brady. So I'm going to go with the Bucks at home. Fire the cannons. A little bit, but let's I don't know. I'm gonna back the crew I believe in.
Bobby thought that the orange dreamsicle Buccaneers things were really cool, so he bought a T-shirt in middle school, and now he's a Buccaneers fan.
I have been riding on this for years. I haven't had a strong connection to him, but I'm like, I'm going to say I'm a Bucs fan. I'm going to squat on this, I'm going to use squatter rights on the Buccaneers. So when they're finally good, nobody can call me a bandwagoner.
I didn't hear a single lick about Jameis Winston 30-30 season. And then here he comes, Tom Brady. Bobby has appeared.
Bobby's ready.
I was just quiet. I was hanging out, having a good time. I was waiting in the shadows for this moment. And here we are. So... anyways, enough about me and the Bucks. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining tonight. And thank all of you for hanging out with us on your Saturday night. We have a good Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll see you on Monday for, yikes, what is probably a big blowout against the Los Angeles Lakers. This has been Boomtown Hoops Live. Have a good Saturday night, everyone. Thunder up.